Hello, Taurus. Welcome to July 2022. We're going to talk about the highlights of the month for you. And please check out my description box and all of my stuff and like and subscribe. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian of Lunatic Astrology. And we're looking at the sky from the tropical zodiac using Hellenistic whole sign houses. Your rising sign will always be most accurate, but you can listen for your sun and moon as well. Okay. So number one, the big thing I'm really loving for you guys is the movement of Venus into Cancer, because she is particularly key in your story. And she's the Lord of Taurus. And on Cancers, when she moves into Cancer, she's very nurturant, very sensual, very loving, very emotional, very watery. And that's going to happen, of course, on July 17th. And so you'll finish this month with her there. She'll be there for about 3 weeks. Now, when she's in Cancer and she is your person, right? She's going to be operating from the energy or the focus point of your third house. And this can really draw you into deeper relationships with your siblings, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, or bring you greater enjoyment or pleasure with and about and with those people. They're going to be maybe in your face, but you could also have a great chance to take a journey somewhere, because short trips and travel is very third house, and Venus is a pleasure seeker, but it would be a very self-loving, very nurturing opportunity for travel, because that Cancer overlay makes that journey feel really, really good. Really, like it brings you home to yourself and you're enjoying it. And it could very much be also connected to a trip to do with females. Venus is a female. And if you have anything you want to learn, she'll bring you pleasure in the learning here. So skills-based learning, educating yourself in some way can be very opportune and pleasurable starting on July 17th onward. And if you need to get a new job, because this is your local neighborhood, you might find a job in a Venus ruled area of reality. Like hospitality industry, restaurants, bars, pleasure seeking watering holes, or something to do with the beauty industry, or whatever you would call a Venus, ruled idea of what would be enjoyable. I would also say that if you're on the online world and you really hustle there, this could be a good time for being popular, having more appeal, being more charismatic, getting a little celebrity boost going for yourself in the online world. Also want to note that you will experience, as we all will, this kind of intensity with a Mars square Pluto on July 1st and 2nd. This happens roughly every 2 years, although it did happen 3 times in 2020. And this type of Mars square Pluto energy in particular last happened back in 2020. So first of all, Pluto is power and Mars is drive, ambition, and direction. Now, Mars will be moving at the time of the square through your natal 12th house. And your 12th house is the house of your siblings. It's a house of not your siblings, it's a house of your dreams at night, the house of foreign lands and travels. It can involve that. Sometimes it has to do with our addictions, our bad habits. I don't know. Some of Tauruses I know have been really working since Mars entered your 12th house, May 24th. Don't forget, he leaves on July 5th, eliminating some of their self-defeating habits, patterns, addictions, really winnowing those away. And so you've been going through that process anyway, and Mars is finishing it up, but he squares Pluto, and that Pluto is in your 9th house of higher education, and in Vedic astrology, the father, but you can think of patriarchal authority figures here, and gnarly ones. Long distance short trips and travel to foreign lands, and you've got this like energy of contention and pressure from Pluto to your 12th house. Now, some of this can be very subtle because both the 9th and the 12th house are metacosmos, or between the world's houses, and it might be more of an inward thing, like a tension between your faith and your vision of your life, and 9th house stuff, and your dharma, and your inner life of introspection, nocturnal dreams, ponderings and stuff like that. You may feel this, in other words, less as an outward conflict and more like an inner conflict. If you need to do anything to do with book publishing or academia, and you want to be obsessed about it, and you want to work for 2 days really hard, I think that very much could support that. The same with learning anything. In July 1st and 2nd, you could be obsessive and effective, but somewhat obsessive in getting that thing learned or whatever. Moving forward, around the 8th, the 11th, you're going to find a nice bolt of jolt yay. The sun will sextile Uranus, and this is going to bring some surprise. Now, the sun is moving in your 3rd house of siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and trips and travel, and it is going to create a sextile energy to Uranus in your natal 1st house. Now, Uranus is the unexpected and the exhilarating, and it's lots to do with change, but it's in the house of you. It's in your body. It's house of your decisions, your personhood, your body. And the third house is, your, as I said, extended family network, your local environment, your neighborhood, and things to do with trips and travel, short distances. I wonder if for some of you Tauruses, there could be a really exciting trip. And with the sun shining in your third house, this is really lighting you up. Like this trip could put you in some kind of aha, pineal gland downloads, profound insights about something because of a journey you take, Taurus people. Okay, so keep that in mind. Or something that could happen locally in your local environment, your neighborhood, could also send you a wave of insight, a sudden download, some inspiration of some sort. Moving forward to July 11th to the 15th, you're going to find Venus in that trine to Saturn, and that could create some kind of enduring positive development. Saturn brings something that lasts, and Venus will trine Saturn. Saturn sitting in his journey through the sign of Aquarius is in your career house, your reputation in the world, with your status, your ambition to succeed. Saturn's been kind of hard assing you there since 2020. You've been making gains over like a marathon of endurance when it comes to things like your career or your purpose or your work. And yet here's a little blessed piece of the sky, because Venus is in Gemini in your money house. And this is a money breakthrough, and it's very positive for you. You may feel all of a sudden like you might get a raise, a promotion, a bonus, but also you just might feel some kind of sweetness regarding the flow between earnings and money and your career path and your reputation in the world as well. Like it all somehow was worth the grind or something like that. There is a square to Neptune at the same time. So just be cautious that you have someone to look at the details of anything you sign or promotions, or, make sure that you aren't getting some deception in the, back end that you need to pay attention to, especially if it's something from a friend that you maybe trust but aren't sure. So check that out. Just be wary, have a little caution there, but for the most part, it feels quite good. The moon, the big full moon that's happening in Capricorn, is going to be in your, well, first of all, it's conjunct Pluto. So it's not just a full moon, it's a powerful full moon at the very end of Capricorn. And so keep that in mind. Okay, it's potent, it's very potent. And it's in your ninth house. Now, your ninth house is the house of the things I mentioned before: your education, the house of academia, the house of book publishing and foreign trips and lands, and the deepest dharma, and a patriarchal energy, like a father figure. And so Pluto is up there with this full moon, and there's something coming to fullness here. Now, full moons can often be completions or attainment level things, but they can also be revealing as well. So you may be able to see something in a way, or something can be revealed under the light of a big full moon about things you need to know about your education or about your parent, or maybe things to do with trips and travel as well, especially if it's involving far away foreign lands. I got to fix something. Those little things that you have for the hangers on your clothes and they're always sticking out. I hate those. All right. What else can I tell you? Go back 6 months before this moon approximately, and you may find you can connect a seed that was planted then to a fullness that's showing up now. Lastly, you can also, what else do I want to tell you about? Everyone's getting a little something different depending on, look at the energy of that Mercury cazimi as well. So we're going to go forward in time in a bit here. There is Mercury cazimi the sun on July the 16th, and the energy of that cazimi could be very, very illustrative, or of some opening to do with a dream or a vision that you've had in your life coming into some fullness. And I'm going to double check the exact degree of the cazimi, but I think it's 24 degrees. No, it is 24 degrees. And it is in the sign of Cancer. So what is this blossoming vision or opening for some dreamy, hopeful vision that is opening up for you in that third house of trips and travel? Are you traveling somewhere, Taurus, in the middle of July? And if so, there's something very positive going on here, because as Mercury is in the heart of the sun, there's also a beautiful trine to dreamy Neptune in the house of friendship. So it could be very literal. A journey with a friend opens up some blossoming, beautiful insights for you. or it could be that some course you're learning is going to open up some brand new insights from you that could be quite important, very visionary, very spiritual, very lovely energy for you. And also at the end of the month, I'm not going to belabor this. I'll be talking about more on a separate video, but there is a big intensity here with this end of the month Mars conjunct Uranus. Now, it's also like a boom, bum, boom, something big, and the North Node as well. And they're all kind of piling up in the house of you, right? So, having Mars, the North Node, and Uranus all collide together in your first house of your body, of your identity, is a huge energy. And you may be having a complete identity crisis or an identity overhaul or a dramatic shift in who you think you are. And you'll begin to feel this building up as early as the 21st of the month of July, and it culminates on July 31st up until August 5th. This is a longer energy field of events, because not only is it just Mars moving into this alignment who's creating this momentum, but Uranus and the North Node as well. So it's also very rare because the North Node won't be back there for 20 years. Okay. So, and Uranus won't be back there either, ever again. So this is quite the significant event for the Taurus people. And I'm not going to say that it's bad or good. It just is. There's something happening here where you are opening up some kind of new sense of who you are in the world. There's an identity shift. There is no two ways about it. And that's it. Thanks, Taurus, for listening. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications. Let me know how your month goes. I'd love to hear back and see how that has been and will be for you. Thank you.